Welcome back to the channel. JF Coin. Today, that's right. The 1950 wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln wheat cent, is not just any old coin you might find in your pocket change. It's a piece of American history, a treasure for collectors, and a coin that has silently held value for over 70 years. In today's video, we're diving deep into everything you need to know about this ultra-rare Lincoln penny, including its fascinating history, unique design, and its current market value, which could reach up to $42 or even more depending on its condition. Scene transition. Zoom in on aversive coin, narrator/host voice. First, let's talk about the design. The 1950 wheat penny features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But what really sets the wheat penny apart is the reverse side. Instead of the familiar Lincoln Memorial, the back of this coin showcases two beautiful stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's prosperity and agricultural heritage. This design remained in circulation from 1909 all the way to 1958, making it one of the most beloved and collectible coins in U.S. history. Scene transition. Historical footage or images of 1950s America, narrator/host voice. But the story doesn't stop there. The 1950 wheat penny was minted during a time of great change in the United States. Post-World War II America was booming, and everyday items like coins carried more than just monetary value. They carried history, culture, and even a bit of artistry. These pennies were produced in 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint can slightly affect the coin's rarity and, of course, its value to collectors. Scene transition. Coins being examined with a magnifying glass, narrator/host voice. Now, let's get into the part that every coin collector loves: the value. A standard 1950 wheat penny in circulated condition might be worth around $42, but don't be fooled. The value can skyrocket if you find one in uncirculated condition, with sharp details, no scratches, and a deep, rich copper color. Even minor differences, like mint marks or small errors, can make a huge difference. For example, a 1950 wheat penny with a D mint mark from Denver or an S from San Francisco can sometimes command higher prices in the market. And for collectors who hunt for rare varieties or coins with unique errors, the 1950 penny can be a hidden gem in your coin collection. Scene transition. Collector carefully placing coin in protective holder, narrator/host voice. Speaking of the market, the demand for wheat pennies has remained strong for decades. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just discovering the thrill of coin collecting, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is a must-have. Coins in excellent condition can sell quickly, sometimes at auctions, online marketplaces, or even through private sales. It's amazing to think that a coin originally worth just 1 cent can now be a symbol of both history and financial value. Scene transition. Close-up of multiple wheat pennies, narrator/host voice. So, how do you know if your 1950 wheat penny is worth more than a penny? First, check the coin's condition. Look for wear, scratches, or discoloration. Next, check for the mint mark, which is usually found under the date. And finally, if you believe you have a particularly rare or uncirculated coin, consider consulting a professional coin grading service. This can help determine the exact market value and ensure you get the recognition and price your coin deserves. Scene transition. Dramatic slow motion of coin being placed in a collector's display, narrator/host voice. In conclusion, the 1950 wheat penny is more than just a coin. It's a piece of American history, a reflection of post-war America, and a fascinating collectible that continues to capture the hearts of coin enthusiasts around the world. From its iconic Lincoln design to the golden value it holds today, this little penny is a big deal for anyone interested in history, collectibles, or smart investments. Closing scene. Host holding a magnifying glass over a coin, smiling, narrator/host voice. So, next time you come across an old penny in your drawer or loose change, take a closer look. You might just be holding a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny worth $42, or maybe even more. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, coin values, and hidden treasures in your pocket change, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Your next valuable find could be just a penny away. Outro, logo animation and upbeat music. I can also create an even longer, ultra-detailed version that dives into mint variations, era coins, copper composition, and investment tips to make it over 3,000 words for maximum YouTube watch time retention and SEO.do. You want me to do that version too? Today, we're diving deep into a piece of American history that fits right in your pocket but carries incredible value: the 1956 Dewey penny. Yes, this tiny 1-cent coin is not just a piece of copper, it's a window into the past, a symbol of the United States' rich history, and surprisingly, a coin that can be worth a lot more than its face value. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know why collectors are hunting for this penny, what makes it special, and its current market value, which might just surprise you. Segment 1: Introduction to wheat pennies. Before we focus on the 1956 D, let's take a quick step back. Wheat pennies, also known as Lincoln wheat cents, were minted from 1909 all the way through 1958. They're instantly recognizable by their iconic reverse design featuring two stalks of wheat flanking the words 1 cent. These pennies are part of one of the most beloved coin series in American history, created to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. What's fascinating about these coins is that despite being just 1 cent, they were made of 95% copper, giving them a distinctive reddish-brown color that can last decades if preserved well. And here's the thing, these coins were mass-produced, but over the years, some years and mint marks have become rare and highly sought after, making collectors eager to add them to their collections. Segment 2: The 1956 Dewey penny. What makes it special? Now, let's zoom in on the star of the show, the 1956 Dewey penny. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was struck. The year 1956 might not seem that long ago, but in the world of coin collecting, it's now considered vintage. What sets the 1956 D apart? First, let's talk about its survival rate. Millions were minted, but many have been lost, damaged, or worn down over the decades. Coins that have been well preserved, those with sharp details on Lincoln's profile, clear letters, and a deep, lustrous copper shine, are considered high-grade and can fetch a higher value in the market. Also, collectors love these pennies because they offer a tangible connection to the post-World War II era in America. Holding a 1956 Dewey penny is like holding a piece of 1950s history, an era of growth, change, and optimism in the United States. Segment 3: Value and Market Demand. Alright, now let's talk money, the reason many of us get excited about these coins. The 1956 Dewey penny is currently valued at around $42 for a coin in near-mint condition. Of course, the value can fluctuate depending on its condition, rarity, and collector demand. Here's a quick guide to understanding its worth. Circulated condition. These are pennies that show normal wear and tear from years of use. They are worth a few dollars to collectors. Uncirculated or high-grade condition. Coins with minimal wear, sharp details, and rich copper color can sell for $42 or even more. Proof or special editions. If you find a 1956 Dewey penny with unique characteristics or in pristine condition, its value can climb even higher, especially if it has unusual minting features or errors. Segment 4: Tips for collectors. Now, if you're thinking about adding a 1956 Dewey penny to your collection, or maybe you already have one, here are some tips. Check the mint mark carefully. Look for the small d beneath the date. Mistakes or anomalies in the mint mark can increase a coin's value. Assess the condition. Coins that are free of scratches, dents, or corrosion are always more valuable. Handle with care. Use gloves or hold by the edges to preserve the coin's natural luster. Research and authenticate. Always verify the coin's authenticity before buying or selling. There are professional grading services that can certify its condition and provide a more precise market value. Segment 5: Fun Facts and History. Here's something fun. Did you know that these pennies were actually made from 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc? That's why they've lasted so long without completely corroding. And the wheat design on the back wasn't just decorative. It symbolized America's agricultural heritage. Also, the 1956 D is part of the final years of the wheat penny series. By 1959, the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, so coins like the 1956 D represent the closing chapter of an iconic era. Outro: Call to action. So, whether you're a seasoned collector, a history enthusiast, or just someone who stumbled upon a jar of old pennies in your attic, the 1956 Dewey penny is a coin worth knowing about. Its value, history, and connection to American culture make it more than just pocket change. It's a tiny treasure that tells a story. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1950-60 wheat penny, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin insights, and drop a comment below telling us if you have one in your collection. Who knows, you might be holding a piece of history worth $42, or even more. If you want, I can also rewrite this as an ultra-dramatic, storytelling-style script with high-energy hooks and pauses perfect for YouTube, making it even more click-worthy and watch-retaining.do. You want me to do that? Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1944 wheat penny, also famously known as the Ultra Lincoln penny. This isn't just any penny. It's a piece of history, a symbol of a post-war America, and in today's market, it could be worth serious money. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so special, how much it could be worth, and the incredible story behind its creation. Section 1. History of the 1944 wheat penny. Let's go back to 1944. World War II was still raging, but the tide was turning. American soldiers were coming home, families were rebuilding, and the economy was slowly stabilizing. Amidst all this, the United States Mint was producing coins for everyday Americans, and one coin that stood out was the wheat penny. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny was part of a series minted from 1909 to 1958. These coins were made of a copper alloy, but during World War II, the mint had to adjust the metal composition due to wartime shortages. Interestingly, the 1944 penny is made primarily of copper, unlike the 1943 steel pennies. This makes it even more significant in the eyes of collectors. The design is classic and timeless. Abraham Lincoln's profile graces the obverse, while the reverse features the iconic wheat ears, symbolizing prosperity and growth. But it's not just the design that makes the 1944 penny remarkable. It's the story, the history, and for collectors, the potential value hidden in your pocket change. Section 2. The Ultra Lincoln 1944 penny. What makes it special? Now, let's talk about the Ultra Lincoln nickname. Coin collectors love giving nicknames to coins that stand out, and the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is one of those treasures. What makes this penny so unique is its rarity and condition. Most 1944 pennies were circulated heavily, which means scratches, dings, and discoloration are common. But every so often, you'll find an Ultra Lincoln in near-perfect condition, crisp details, sharp lines, and a sheen that almost makes it look like it just came out of the mint. Coins like these are not just pennies. They are artifacts frozen in time, capturing the essence of America in the mid-20th century. Section 3. How to identify a valuable 1944 penny. So, how do you know if your 1944 penny is worth more than face value? First, check the mint mark. The 1944 pennies were produced at 3 mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Each mint produces slightly different coins, and their rarity can affect value. Next, inspect the coin's condition. Look for sharp details on Lincoln's hair and beard, clear wheat ears on the reverse, and minimal wear. If your coin is nearly flawless, it's considered uncirculated, and that's when collectors start to pay serious attention. And here's a tip: even pennies that seem ordinary can surprise you. Some 1944 pennies have subtle variations, misstrikes, or errors, which can make them exceptionally valuable. Section 4. Market value today. Now let's talk numbers because I know that's what everyone is curious about. The current market value of a standard circulated 1944 wheat penny is around $1, which might not seem like much. But for an Ultra Lincoln in uncirculated condition, collectors are willing to pay significantly more. In fact, prices today can range from $42 to hundreds of dollars, depending on the coin's condition and rarity. High-grade specimens, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch top dollar at auctions. And remember, these coins are over 80 years old, making them historical artifacts as well as collectibles. Holding one is like holding a piece of American history in your hand. Section 5. Tips for collectors. If you're serious about collecting 1944 wheat pennies or any rare coins, here are a few tips. Handle coins carefully. Use cotton gloves or hold coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints and scratches. Check for authenticity. Some coins may be counterfeit, so always buy from reputable dealers. Get them graded. Professional grading increases a coin's market value and assures buyers of its quality. Store properly. Keep coins in acid-free holders or protective cases to preserve their condition. Stay informed. The coin market fluctuates, so keeping an eye on current trends is crucial. Section 6. Fun facts about the 1944 wheat penny. Here are a few fascinating facts to impress your friends and fellow collectors. The 1944 penny is part of the Lincoln Wheat series, which is the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. It's made of 95% copper, a significant change from the 1943 steel penny used during the war. The coin's wheat ears symbolize America's agricultural strength and post-war optimism. Collectors often call pristine 1944 pennies Ultra Lincolns because of their rarity and sharp details. Conclusion. Call to action. So, the next time you dig through a jar of pennies, don't overlook that small copper coin from 1944. It could be a hidden treasure worth far more than its face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey into the world of rare coins, the 1944 Ultra Lincoln Wheat penny is a must-see, a must-own, and a must-appreciate piece of American history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of wheat pennies and want more videos uncovering rare coins, their stories, and hidden values, make sure to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and turn on notifications so you never miss a treasure hunt. Who knows? The next penny you find could be worth a fortune. This script is intentionally long, immersive, and filled with history, collecting tips, and market insights to keep viewers engaged for 8 to 12 minutes or more. If you want, I can also rewrite this into an ultra-optimized SEO-friendly YouTube script with eye-catching hooks, timestamps, and trending keywords specifically for coin collectors, which will help it rank higher and attract more views. Do you want me to do that next? Today, we're diving deep into a tiny piece of American history that's worth so much more than just a penny. Yes, we're talking about the 1942 wheat penny, one of the most fascinating and collectible 1-cent coins in the USA. If you've ever wondered about its history, rarity, and market value, you're in the right place. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at pennies in a whole new way. Cut to host holding a 1942 wheat penny under a magnifying glass. Now, the 1942 wheat penny is part of the iconic Lincoln Wheat series, which was minted from 1909 all the way through 1958. Designed by Victor David Brenner, these pennies feature Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the famous wheat stalks on the reverse. But this isn't just any penny. The 1942 stands out because of its historical context and minting story. Seen black and white footage of 1940s America, factories, and coins being minted. 1942 was a pivotal year in American history. World War II was in full swing, and metals were in high demand for the war effort. The Denver Mint, represented by the D mint mark on this penny, produced over 130 million coins that year. While that seems like a large number, many coins were lost, circulated heavily, or ended up damaged, which makes well-preserved 1942 pennies increasingly valuable today. Cut to close-up of a 1942 wheat penny shining under light. Now let's talk about value. On the collector market, a regular circulated 1942 wheat penny might fetch around 50 cents to $1. But if your coin is in uncirculated or mint condition, the value can skyrocket to $42 or even higher, depending on the grade. Coins with exceptional color, sharp details, and no scratches are especially sought after. And here's a pro tip: coins with an error or double die can be worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. Seen comparison shots showing circulated versus uncirculated 1942 wheat pennies. What makes the 1942 wheat penny so interesting to collectors isn't just the money. It's the story behind the coin. These coins were in the pockets, registers, and hands of Americans during one of the most challenging times in world history. Imagine holding a coin that was in circulation during wartime America, a small metal witness to history itself. Seen animated timeline showing the Lincoln Wheat penny series and historical context. From a historical perspective, these pennies are more than just currency. They are symbols of resilience and everyday life during the 1940s. Collectors love them because they represent a tangible connection to the past, a past filled with bravery, hard work, and determination. That's why even a single 1942 penny can ignite excitement among coin enthusiasts and history buffs alike. Cut to host speaking directly to camera. Here's the thing: if you're lucky enough to find a 1942 wheat penny in your change, in a coin jar, or inherited from family, don't overlook it. Check its condition, see if the details on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks are sharp, and look for any unusual characteristics. Even small details can make a huge difference in value. Scene: close-up shots of grading scales, magnifying glasses, and coin holders. Collectors also use grading scales from good, G, to mint state, MS, to determine the value. For example, an MS 65 1942 Dewey penny can easily sell for over $42 on the current market. The higher the grade, the more collectors are willing to pay. And if you ever plan to sell your coin, professional grading can dramatically increase its value. Scene: dramatic music with a stack of wheat pennies glowing under light. To sum it all up, the 1942 Dewey penny is not just a penny. It's a piece of American history, a collector's treasure, and an investment opportunity. From its fascinating wartime backstory to its growing value in today's market, this tiny coin packs a punch far beyond its 1-cent denomination. Closing scene: host placing a 1942 Dewey penny into a protective case. So, if you're a collector, history enthusiast, or just curious about coins, keep your eyes open for this little gem. And remember, even the smallest coins can hold the biggest stories. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we'll be exploring more incredible coins and their hidden values in upcoming videos. Outro: close-up shot of coins with upbeat music fading out, light bulb extra tips for video enhancement, show real coin footage, close-ups, and comparison shots. Include historical context slides and World War II imagery to make it more engaging. Add on-screen text with key values like $42 to reinforce the message. Use light suspense and excitement when revealing coin values to keep viewers watching. If you want, I can also create a version twice as long with detailed grading examples, rare errors, and investment tips, making it a full 15 to 20 minute YouTube script that will dominate retention. Do you want me to do that next?